All right, the other one I was looking at, he's actually got a video on it too. Oh my God, and multiple people have videos on this. Quinfall, and the reason, like, yeah, they're all doing videos on this. All these guys, so we have Force Gaming, Jay, Kira, um, Asmongold. What got me was I think I saw Asmon's. I think I saw his and Forge's thumbnails for this, which is the biggest MMO fails, biggest MMO of all time is their quote. And people have been looking into this game and saying that it's not. I never even have heard of it. Do they have like an official website? Because I guess the big thing right now is they're claiming that it's the biggest MMO ever built, right? And I love these hype people. Like, where do they get these hype people? In a land where wars and chaos live forever, life that will determine its fate has challenged time once again. That grammar is. Let me try to decipher what they're trying to say. In this land where wars and chaos live forever, life that will determine its fate has challenged time. That just is not. It's not good grammar. A new generation MMORPG, your destiny is in your hands. An adventure on the trail of the past, a unique world full of secrets. Get ready to meet the absolute power of fate. Of this land where wars and chaos live forever, the life that would determine its destiny once again challenge time. This must not be a native English team, because that's really bad. Oh, it's a Unity game. I'm already giving it a thumbs down. I'm already giving it 2 thumbs down. It's a Unity game. It's a Unity game. I'm giving it 2 thumbs down. Panavision, you mean has been, haven't sold D&D yet. Bubbley says the world's a hellish place and bad rain is destroying the quality of our suffering by Tom Waits. It's very true. Um, it's a Unity game. I already don't even care about it now. Like, there is no MMORPG built in the Unity engine to date that has been able to deliver because Unity is not built for MMORPGs. And I say this having founded a game studio that spent 7.5 years developing an MMORPG in Unity. If I could turn back the dials of time, I would 100% have said, screw that, let's do it in Unreal instead, because Unity is just not capable of handling the performance needs of MMORPGs, and especially when they tout things like the biggest MMO of all time. Let's look at the game. Is there any? I kind of want to watch a video of this without being tainted by all these YouTube streamers and content creators who have made these videos about how it's fake. Like, obviously, I'm already colored by that because I'm coming to their website and I'm already opinionated. But honestly, my opinions are mostly based on the fact that it's Unity, and I just don't believe that you can make a massively performant MMORPG. Um, this is a year ago showplace trailer, and then I've got there's a closed beta interview. Let's just look at the showcase trailer first. By the way, something looking good with no other players on the screen is not indicative of this being a game that's going to get 60 frames per second. Like, Unity is a horrible engine for MMORPGs. This looks fine because it's a single player. It's like there's literally there's no monsters on the screen. There's nothing on the screen here. I mean, isn't this supposed to be an MMO? Where's the massively multiplayer? It says the Quinfall, new MMORPG game, gameplay showcase trailer. Where is the MMO? I see no other players on the screen. I see one character fighting monsters in single player combat. I don't see any MMORPG elements here. This does not look impressive. Yeah, Panda, I'm not seeing anything. I'm not impressed by anything I'm seeing so far either. By the way, I'm gonna turn the volume down a little bit because that volume was way too loud. I mean, this doesn't look. It's not the worst I've ever seen in terms of VFX, but you're showing me single player content. There's no group here. There's no team members. There's no NPC members. They've never shown more than 2 or 3 NPCs on the screen at the same time. Bubblina says, I always thought the Quinfall was what happens when you're playing a sold-out show and you turn up to the distortion and to open the chords to start me up. Alright, hold on. We do see a bunch of players here. The question I have is, are these real players, or is this like Camelot Unchained where they spawned a bunch of NPCs and just to record a video shot? I'm gonna go back here. Hang on. Look at this clip right here. Watch how many of these NPCs, if they are NPCs or if they're player characters, half of these aren't even doing anything. They're just standing there on screen, not doing anything. I didn't go back far enough. More than half, I would say half of these, if not more than half, aren't doing anything. Color me skeptical. Color me skeptical. Yeah, I haven't seen anything yet that makes me go.
Welcome to the realm of Quinfall, adventurer on a trail to the past. Lands of Quinfall feature a variety of landforms, mountains, lakes, and rivers that are shaped according to their respective biomes and climates. The local flora also corresponds to the biome.
I mean, so far they're just showing me massive vistas because they're completely empty. I don't see any player characters. I don't see any non-player characters. I don't see anything here. It totally looks like an asset pack, yeah.
Cities are strategically spread across cliffs, shores, mountains, and even underground in a vast 2016 square kilometer land.
That's what they were touting the other day as like the biggest MMO ever built.
In this world, seasons and weather conditions like rain and snow interact with your character as well as objects.
Okay, so hang on.
Decline like rain and snow
interact with your character
as well as
objects. So why aren't you showing this on screen? Why aren't you showing us snow and rain interacting with objects in real time on your screen? You're showing me fucking foliage in a fucking forest. Like, come on. Like, this isn't rocket science here. Like, you're talking about things that you're not showing me on the screen. I don't believe that you have those things. Show me that you have those things.
Plants and some animals may decline in number in certain climates.
You're not showing me that, though. You're telling me, but you're not showing me. I'm calling bullshit. Now I understand why all these influencers are calling bullshit on this game. Well, we are seeing some snow now, finally. Oh,
Some areas may be subjected to floods, and some may surface as a result of drafts. All of these are some of the elements that make up Quinfall's alive and dynamic world.
okay, now we're in a town. Finally, some player character. Well, at least some NPCs on the screen. So far, it looks very much like a Unity game. Nothing wrong with that. I've had fun in a lot of Unity games, but I also know the
Those who
limitations
find
of the system.
themselves in Quinfall will not encounter a classic MMORPG experience.
Then why call it an
In
MMORPG
Quinfall,
if it's not
you
classic?
can visit shops and taverns
I'm sorry.
run by other players.
Hang
play
on.
board games.
Hang on. You can visit shops and taverns. Guys, you've never been able to do that in an MMORPG before. But they do mention that these are player-run establishments. So how does that work?
Or mini games with others.
Mini games with
And
other
even
players.
make your own music.
So, great. There's Gwent in-game. Okay. Or we're playing Magic the Gathering in-game. I will say that if they've done a full card game in the game, this does deserve credit, because making an actual card game within a game is a task in and of itself, because the team has had to squint. That was the best part of that Evil Dirt League video the other day. When he said squint, I about peed myself. It was so funny. But I will give credit where credit is due, because building a card game, it's time and effort. Like, this does take man hours to put together. So I will give them credit for that.
Keep in mind that your character is part of a living, breathing world.
That's never been done before. There's never been an MMORPG that's been talked about as a living, breathing world before. Whoa, dude, mind blown!
You may not find smiths and other merchants at certain points in time. To learn more about the world, listen carefully to NPCs.
Fixed.
Every piece of information you gather and every area or dungeon you visit will broaden your knowledge, allowing you to uncover Quinfall's mysteries and hidden areas. You may need to find secret passages, solve puzzles, and decipher codes in order to discover some areas. Do not forget that there are various stories and adventures waiting to be uncovered. Some of these puzzles will help you to solve the mystery of Quinfall.
Yeah, Panda says, why don't I just
In
download
Quinfall,
Witcher 3 and boot that
you
up if I
can
want to play a
shape your
card game?
character in any way you want. There are over 100 details you can change in the face alone. You are able to create a unique character with details like skin color, hair, eyes, and body shape.
I mean, the
while
character creator,
tattoos and accessories
if they can make
allow
that character
further
creator work, that is
customization.
a good looking character creator. But they didn't show us any of the sliders or anything else. They just claim that you can do all these things, but they don't show. That's the biggest problem I have with some of these little indie projects that are trying to sell you on their Kickstarter or something, is they make these massive claims that are nowhere remotely close to being true or even possible for the small team that they have.
This world offers you 11 different improvable professions inspired
So you've
by
got
the
11
Middle
classes.
Ages. You can hunt for treasures in secret areas, dungeons, open fields, and underwater to find valuable items. You can plant seeds according to landforms and climate.
Yeah, or just make a
and harvest
standalone
them
card
for
game, right?
farming.
Yeah.
If you don't have enough time, you can employ workers or real players and take time off to discover Quinfall.
They keep talking about how you can have other players, player-run taverns, player-run this, employ other players. How? How are you? Because here's the thing. I know from a game development standpoint, how impossibly difficult it is to make a system whereby other players are the one. Because what talk about the what happens when the other players aren't online? How is that a player-run establishment if that player isn't online to run the operation? Are you having an NPC version of the player character that's going to remain online while that player's offline, and then they can take control of the avatar when they are online? Explain how are you hiring other players to do this? Is it a bulletin board system? Is it how? Because you're not telling me any of the how yet, and this doesn't impress me at all.
All professions are related to one another.
All professions are related to one another in every MMO that has ever been created.
Cooking allows one to create meals and desserts
You can cook meals and desserts in every fucking game that exists.
that give special powers in different fields. With chemistry, you can obtain formulas and create powerful potions that heal your character or your friends. You can fish in lakes, rivers, and seas for various.
All right, one thing I want to point out, something that's a Unity feature. So look at how the feet are aligned on the contour of the rock. If I can move my hand in the way that it makes sense. Like that, right? It's going down at an angle and the foot is it looks great like this, but I'll tell you when it doesn't look great is when the characters are running up a slope, because we faced this challenge in Unity with Saga of Lucemia, where when you have players running up or down a slope, it would look like the ankles were breaking on the character because the feet were trying to align to the slope. So there's some I see stuff like that and I'm like, yeah, that just I know what that looks like when you have lots of players on screen running around, and I haven't seen them showing that yet in the game.
Species. Some animals in different biomes can be tamed for the production of certain materials with the husbandry profession.
Okay, you again, so far they have listed around 15 or 20 massive systems, right? Player run taverns and inns, player run mini games, player interactable or run farms. We can have their players, and now they're touting a crafting system. They're touting a combat system. Now they're touting this an entirely other massive system of animal husbandry. No game has ever introduced animal husbandry in a meaningful manner. I know that Project Gorgon had kind of come close, even though it's a horrific game that I don't think anyone should waste their time playing. But they had the core system there, even though the graphics were absolutely shit. They have not shown us anything in this Quinfall. This is a reveal trailer from a year ago. I don't see any of the features at all. They've shown us overhead flying shots, but they haven't actually shown us any of the systems. They just talk about ideas.
You can also extract different resources from
Okay,
trees,
you're showing us
plants,
harvesting.
and ores in various
Show,
areas.
show and tell.
This allows you to level up your profession level. Keep in mind that every item you gather is extremely vital for your survival and progress. If you wish, you can choose to develop your hunting profession
Asset pack
by
bear.
hunting animals.
Asset pack wolves. Nothing wrong with that. Just point it out. Like, asset pack deer. Asset pack bunnies. Also asset pack flowers and grass for sure. And that's probably speed tree to make all the trees. Like, the narrator isn't helping. Why are we suddenly we have an elephant in a
Merchant
forest?
mounts can also be tamed and upgraded, which allows you to deliver goods faster and trade efficiently.
You say that,
Each
but you don't
mount
show me.
provides different advantages in different areas. In a 2016 square kilometre land, improving your riding mount will grant you much useful speed. To obtain new mounts, you can tame wild animals, breed existing ones, lands or buy from stables.
All right, at least I'm seeing some horses in action with a wagon, and the writing didn't look half bad. That looks, the
The
Zeppelin
story
doesn't
of
look bad.
Quinfall allows you to use items
Yeah,
that
why is the
originate
African
from
London in
different
medieval
ages
London? Why is
or
the African
ancient
grey elephant in
times,
medieval London?
and even
Yeah,
travel
true.
in time,
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Travel in time. Hold on. What?
and
Hold up.
originate.
Hold up.
The story of Quinfall allows you to use items that originate from different ages or ancient times, and even travel in time.
So not only are we claiming that it's the biggest MMORPG that's ever been created in terms of landmass, and not only are we touting player run this, that, and the other, and player interacted this, now we're also making it, it's not a medieval game, guys. It's a time spanning game where you can play from all sorts. This makes no sense to me. It sounds like they're trying to claim. Right, right. Like I'm confused too. Like I don't understand what they're pitching me here. Like suddenly we went from a medieval survival MMO to time travel and trains.
Waves that come.
I'm so sorry. I gotta keep pulling at this. This is the biggest. I just can't take any of this seriously. Like, this is another massive system that they are claiming they have in their game. Did you hear them talk about winds and rains and weather and sea battles and exploring new areas? Like, that, the sea system in and of itself, just a functional sea system where the wind and the weather affects your ship and everything else, that is a massive system that takes lots of man hours and bodies working on it to create in a realistic fashion. And you're telling me you've crammed this all into this specially built Unity game that is built by a tiny little indie company?
Your way.
By the way, I don't know how big their company is. I'm gonna
Nature
go look it
is
up here in a
not the
minute.
only thing you must battle, as you can encounter pirates, other players, and
It's not just the ocean and the seas and the weather, guys. It's also NPC pirates and other players because it wasn't big enough. We've got to make all this come together. What was that? What was that Kickstarter from a couple of years ago where those the people were calling it like the biggest Kickstarter scam that had ever happened? Like the guy was like a waiter or something, and then he like made this big sob story about how he lost his job and like lost his girlfriend, and he was using that as like the pitch, the pity pitch for his Kickstarter, and they raised like $30,000 or something out of 15,000 they were asking for to build this dream MMO, and it was being touted as like it might even be called Dream something. I don't even remember now, but this resonates as a story I've heard before, where you've got some you know nobody team who is trying to build this thing that a AAA company can't build because they've literally mentioned now like a couple of dozen of massive systems that just blows my mind. Bubba says, we'll just wait to see the elephant drawn trains crossing the seas. Now that's pod racing. Panda says, please make it stop. It's just a horror story.
even mystical sea monsters.
And mystical sea monsters. All right, so who is the company behind this? The company is who? Is that the company? About Us. Founded in January 2021, they aim to bring innovation to the video game industry while staying active in the global market. Um, is going to present the biggest MMORPG universe in the world to the global audience with their new game Quinfall. In the upcoming years, Varek aims to adapt real life to the digital world by creating a sandbox MMORPG world on a scale never before seen. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I don't. So they changed their title. So they started something called Kara Online in 2019, then established a company, then they terminated their first project and started developing their second project. Do we get an idea of how many people are working on the team? It doesn't tell us. It doesn't say how many people are working on the team at all. Um, yeah, I yeah, I don't believe a word of it. They may have a working tech demo, which from the trailer it showed like they had something they put together. But the fact that they're trying to throw all of these things at it, I just don't believe that this is something that's realistic at this point in time. Especially considering they just started working on it in 2021. They're a long way from showing anything. Um, and yet they were listing that. Let's go back to their YouTube channel really quick.
Arkadaşlar merhaba.
So that was from a year ago. I'm not gonna listen to all this, but
Ben Sayrayon. Bugün sizlerle beraber Vavrek Teknoloji
so yeah, definitely not English. That's fine. We've got one guy. Do they show anybody else ever showing anything? There's two guys. There's a second person. So there's at least two people working on it. Um, I mean, at the very least, it sounds like they may have showed some stuff off in the closed beta interview, which is something that's probably worth looking into since I just lambasted their their release trailer. Um, But I tell you what, that release trailer I just watched did not inspire me to be interested in this at all. It sounds way too ambitious and like they really don't know what they want. They just are using buzzwords like biggest MMORPG of all time, etc. I don't know. Remains to be seen. But I thought I would cover that this morning and take a peek since a bunch of people were reacting to it the other day. I don't know. My gut reaction after watching the reveal is that yeah, it's I don't think that any of what, at the very least, if you're going to build something in Unity, you could build a small scale co-op game. But I can tell you from experience that the moment you start trying to get more than 30 people on screen in a zone in Unity, it just starts to fall apart. You can look at Shroud of the Avatar. You can look. I mean, there's just lots of examples that you can look at. Nobody's done a massively multiplayer online game in Unity yet because the tech doesn't support it, and you got to be able to basically hack together your own system. Bubble says that and throwing everything in the game at once. Like, hey, if you hate fantasy MMOs but love Red Dead 2, we've got trains and bears. That's the thing. It's like they started off talking like it was a medieval survival MMO, and then suddenly they're talking time travel and trains and ship battle and all. It's just too many things. Like, who's your funding? How much funding do you have? So on and so forth. Those are the things I would need to know. I am gonna dive into this dev diary thing, but I'll do that at a different point in time. I'm gonna head out right now, guys, because I need to get some lunch in me, and then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna do our game stream today. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, I'm gonna continue to do these throughout the month of February on Twitch. Just doing Let's Chatting, talking about things. These are things I've been doing these anyway over the past few years, but I usually record them in a bubble offline. But I'm starting to do them in an online format so that we can have chitter chatter and talk with amongst ourselves, etc. while we're doing this. So thanks to those of you for tuning in today and being here. If you want to know more, don't forget to follow along here on Twitch. Bits Chubs. I like Chubs too, baby. Bits, subs, and cheers and all that good stuff. Support here. Thanks to those of you who can and do. Don't forget YouTube because that's where the day-to-day stuff happens. And here in a bit, we're going to have a multi-stream up. I think we're going to be doing more Enshrouded, so we'll see you in a bit. And then tomorrow is a full World of Warcraft day because we have the Taurens in the morning and the raid tomorrow night. So stay tuned for that, everybody. Peace.